Henry V. Jardine, Mr. Ravin Lama, President of American Chamber of Commerce Mauritius, Mrs. Namita Jagannath Hadawar, President Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Suresh Nanda, President Indian Business Council, Mrs. Karina Nishis, President of International Business Enterprise, Mr. Mohammed Murad Singh, Director of Analysis Group, members of AMCHAM, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for the book launch of American Chamber of Commerce Mauritius Business Index Book 2023. I am Jerry, your host for today. Now, let me tell you about the AMCHAM Mauritius Business Book Index Book. It's brought to fruition by the American Chamber of Commerce in Mauritius in collaboration with Analysis Kantar. It serves an accurate barometer of the perception of both AMCHAM member and other business entities operating in Mauritius. The ABCI focuses on key elements such as government policy, tax structures, corruption, and law enforcement. Additionally, it provides an in-depth look in business performance indicators and overarching economic conditions within Mauritius. These diverse metrics not only shed light on the complex interplay of factors influencing the business climate, but also present an in-depth analysis of the overall economic well-being of the nation. With its index, AMCHAM positions itself to effectively identify and quantify the challenges facing the business community. By doing so, it enables the Chamber to collaborate more effectively with the government and other relevant stakeholders. The long-term aim is to proactively enhance the business environment in Mauritius, ensuring its alignment with best practices and global standards. And to tell you more about the Mauritian Business Index Book 2023, it is a privilege to call, not yet on stage, a man with many hats, salesman, journalist, garment and handicraft exporter, packaging and freight forwarding, model, advertising man, humorist, publisher, editor, trainer, even manager, and several more titles. He says, mind you, he says he has failed in most of them, but he still has not given up. We know who we're talking about. There you go. He has been a Toastmaster for over 30 years, set up the Toastmasters movement in Nepal, and started the first club, Kathmandu Toastmasters Club. He helped Mauritius Toastmasters get districted with South Africa, received the Toastmasters International Presidential Citation, and was inducted into the Toastmasters Hall of Fame in August 2021 in the USA. Toastmasters is a place where one can develop their communication and leadership skills. A certified laughter coach, trainer, leader, and laughter ambassador, he's on the global board of the International Advertising Association as VP Impact and Southern Africa Development, the Managing Director of Mind Initiative and Training Institute. Please help me welcome the one and only, the President of the American Chamber of Commerce in Mauritius, Mr. Ravin Lama, for his address.
Thank you, Jerry, for that wonderful introduction. I just wanted to make it very clear that this is not the US presidential election. So have no doubt about that. Good evening, Your Excellency Henry V. Jardine, US Ambassador to Mauritius, Her Excellency Katie Lalor, Deputy High Commissioner and Council, Australian High Commission, Namita Jagannath Hadawar, President, MCCI, Dr. Suresh Nanda, President of the Indian Business Council, members of the AMCHAM board, colleagues from all the other chambers, and distinguished guests. It is an honor to stand before such an esteemed gathering as the President of AMCHAM in Mauritius. Today marks not just another event of our calendar, but a significant milestone in our journey to deepen the understanding of the business environment in Mauritius. But first things first, I am deeply indebted to His Excellency Henry Jardine, our chief guest, for sowing the idea of a Mauritius Business Climate Index when we first met at his office in Port Louis earlier this year. I am also truly grateful to all my fellow board members for giving the go-ahead to this ambitious project. The choice fell on Analysis Kantar, a corporate member of the AMCHAM, headed by Mohammad Murad Singh, who extended all possible help when we commissioned them to start the study. The partnership between AMCHAM in Mauritius and Analysis Kantar embodies a commitment to harnessing research and data to drive informed business decisions, catalyze change, and shape policies for a prosperous Mauritius. Together, we embarked on a mission to distill the vast complexities of our business climate into a comprehensible, actionable index, the first ever AMCHAM Mauritius Business Climate Index 2023. This index is more than just numbers and figures. It's a reflection of the hopes, challenges, aspirations, and dynamism of our business community. It encapsulates the spirit of Mauritius as an evolving hub of innovation, enterprise, and resilience. To the team at Analysis Kantar, I extend my deepest appreciation. Your expertise and dedication have given us an index that stands as a testament to the power of research and collaboration. Thank you. I think they need a round of applause. To our members and the broader business community, this index serves as a compass. Whether you're an entrepreneur navigating the challenges of a startup, an established business considering expansion, or a foreign investor evaluating opportunities in Mauritius, this index provides invaluable insights. It offers a snapshot of where we are and, more importantly, where we can go. But data and figures, as we all know, is only as good as the action it inspires. I urge each one of us, or you, to use this index as a tool, not just as a reference. Let's engage in meaningful dialogue, discuss potential areas of improvement, and collaboratively identify avenues for growth. As AMCHAM, we are committed to facilitating this dialogue and ensuring that the insights derived from this index catalyze positive change. Before I conclude, let me emphasize that while we celebrate this achievement today, our work is far from over. This index lays the foundation for an annual tradition of reflection, assessment, and action. In closing, I'm reminded of a saying that goes, knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. Let the AMCHAM Mauritius Business Climate Index 2023 not just be a publication on our shelves, but a living, breathing guide that fuels our action towards a brighter, prosperous future for Mauritius. Thank you, and let's continue to drive excellence together.
Once again, thank you very much for your presence here today. Very, very proud of you. Some familiar faces around, members of the press, of course. Thank you, Mr. Ravin Lama, for this beautiful opening speech. Now, Kantar is one of the largest marketing and socio-economic research and marketing strategy agency in the Indian Ocean region. Analyst Institute of Management provides high-level award from diploma to master degree level. A non-award training in collaboration with international training partners. Now, I have the pleasure, I would like to welcome on stage the Director of Analyst Group, Analyst Institute of Management, Deputy CEO, Analyst Kantar, CEO Indian Ocean, RDS CDO, Mr. Mohammad Murad Singh, for a few words. Please make some noise.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Henry Jardine, U.S. Ambassador to Mauritius, Ravin Lava, President of AMCHAM of Mauritius, and distinguished guest. It is with immense pride that we partner with AMCHAM to introduce the inaugural edition of the AMCHAM Business Climate Index. This annual initiative is meticulously crafted to assess the pulse of the vibrant Mauritian community. The ABI offers a comprehensive insight into business performance indicators and a broader economic landscape of Mauritius. Our index goes beyond mere numbers. It illuminates the intricate factors shaping our business environment. It serves both as a mirror reflecting the current economic climate and encompass a pointing towards area of focus and development. We adopted AMCHAM tried and tested questionnaire approach, ensuring our data is rooted in proven methodology. By interviewing a diverse cross-section of the business community, just for clarification, the methodology, we use a representative sample of the Mauritian business community as in terms of size and sector. We captured perspectives spanning various sectors of enterprise, size, and reach, and depth, to enrich the depth of our research. So, the ABI for 2023 has been marked at 47.87 out of 100. At first glance, it seems to suggest a moderate business ambience. It embodies the sentiment and perception of key players, including esteemed members of AMCHAM and various other enterprises. It is imperative to note that a score is slightly shy of the midpoint. It doesn't translate to an outright negative connotation. Instead, it underscores areas within our business framework that becomes close to examination and enhancement. Whether it is refining government policies, optimizing tax structure, fortifying law enforcement, and addressing concerns like corruption, the ABI serves as a call to action. It challenges us to elevate our collective performance of businesses and fortify the bedrock of the Mauritian economy. Thank you for being a part of this pivotal moment. And together, let's channel the insight from the AMCHAM Mauritius Business Climate Index 2023 to foster a thriving, resilient, dynamic business ecosystem in Mauritius. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed Murat Singh. And of course, another round of applause. Thank you so much for this. It's so good to be here today. Of course, this is an amazing event today we're celebrating. I shall invite you to view a short video clip about the views of different chambers of the Mauritius Business Index Book 2023. Please enjoy.
Published by AMCHAM, and why all the other
Mauritius to evolve, thrive and grow on the global stage. And with this index, we are closer to realizing that dream. I invite you to explore the inaugural edition of the first Mauritius Business Climate Index 2023. Let's help Mauritius grow.
Okay, we can do the applause once more. So here we go. I am honored, I am very, very honored. We're calling this special person on stage, a member of the US Senior Foreign Service with the rank of Minister Counselor, nominated to be the ambassador to Mauritius and Seychelles on July the 11th, 2022. He officially presented his credentials to the President of the Republic of Mauritius as the new ambassador to Mauritius on February the 22nd, 2023. Prior to his work with the US Department of State, Ambassador Jardine was a captain in the US Army and served as headquarters company executive officer for the 327th Infantry Battalion. Okay, now 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, and as a platoon leader with 8th Infantry Battalion, 8th Infantry Division, mechanized. He was a distinguished graduate from the Industrial College of the Armed Forces, where he received a Master of Science degree in National Resource Strategy. He was also one of the limited member of ROTC cadet to receive a regular Army commission and was selected for the Infantry Officers Basic Course Commandant's List as a top graduate. His award includes several Department of State Superior Honor Awards and Meritorious Honors Awards, the ICAF Ambassador's Award for Research and Writing, a Department of the Army Commendation Medal, as well as Parachutist, Air Assault, and Expert Infantryman badges. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome His Excellency US Ambassador Henry V. Jardine for his address.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. I feel very old now, and I'm not quite sure I could jump out of an airplane anymore. So, but it's nice sometimes to remember those glory days. But again, thank you all very much for coming, and I'd like to again thank Katie Lawler, the Deputy High Commissioner and Consul of the Australian High Commission, Namita Jagannath Hardawar, the President of MCCI, Dr. Suresh Nanda, the President of IBC, Robin Lama, our very energetic, very dynamic, very entrepreneurial President of the American Chamber of Commerce, and again to the Kantar CEO, Mohammed Morat Singh. Again, thank you very much for your efforts and your team's efforts. They've done an amazing job. And I'm very excited to be here, very excited to be part of, as has already been said, what I think is a real significant moment in the business community. And I think as Robin said, this sort of came up in my conversation with him. Really, I think almost the first week I arrived, we met, and I said, oh, wouldn't this be sort of a good idea to do? And he immediately started doing it, and it made me a little nervous, and I realized I gotta be really careful what I say to Robin, because he might just go ahead and do it. And it's great that he has that initiative, because again, I think this is a wonderful tool for the Chamber, for the business community here, and very much for the US Embassy as well. Often when I interact with government officials and others interested in the business environment here in Mauritius, they'll say, how can the US Embassy support and encourage trade relationships between the United States and Mauritius? And again, that is something we very much want to do. We want to try to help and support. But again, I'm not certain that I can be qualified to explain what are the opportunities, what are the challenges that might be here for businesses thinking of working or developing a trade commercial relationship with Mauritius. And now we have a tool that really does that for us. And this is, again, I think is really an example of the important partnership between the U.S. Embassy, the Chamber of Commerce, the business community, but also with the government of Mauritius. And we do want to work very closely with the government. We've had very good constructive engagement with them on a different range of issues. But now we have a very tangible, quantifiable tool that we can use to highlight where the opportunities are, where they can demonstrate the opportunities for businesses looking to establish themselves here, and where there might be some challenges. And I think what the index really brings is that kind of clarity. And also what's very impressive to me is the granularity, where the team has really drilled down to look at the various elements that a business would be considering when they want to establish themselves here or to build a relationship. Looking at issues of the ease of doing business, the availability of people, of the human resources, of the overall climate, and these kinds of details, this kind of granularity. Again, I would mention the financial resource was another issue, I think are really important because they do give a more accurate perspective of what are the areas of focus that policymakers should consider to address. And I will use this as a tool when I speak with policymakers here. When we talk about the human resource component, I've already had very good constructive conversations with counterparts here about this is an issue, and it's very well recognized. It also helps us in the U.S. Embassy when we think about the approach we can take in supporting the business community. And so, for instance, we have been looking at opportunities to partner with U.S. educational institutions and see how they can then partner here with institutions as well. So, for instance, we were very excited earlier this year when we had the opportunity for Madison College, which is coming out of Madison, Wisconsin, to sign an MOU with the University of Technology in Mauritius, UTM, in order to come up with approaches for collaborating either in allowing students to study in the United States or having students from there come here or have exchanges with different professors and faculty or just a dialogue. So that's an example of where we at the Embassy, understanding some of the challenges are articulated or identified in this report, can then start looking at how we can make a difference and how we can apply resources, effort, and energy to address that. So I think that is really something important to highlight, that this is not just useful in a dialogue with the policy leadership here, but also for us, and I hope for other diplomatic representatives on the ground. The other thing I wanted to highlight was really how this is part of a broader effort that we at the U.S. Embassy are undertaking to see how we can really foster this trade and commercial relationship. Because I recognize ultimately that when it comes to a bilateral relationship between the United States and Mauritius, while we have a very positive relationship with the government, and it's a very strong government-to-government relationship, that really is only one pillar in the overall relationship. I think business and trade is another key pillar. It's part of that dynamic of bringing our countries together and finding a common interest, a shared value. We also do a lot in civil society outreach and seeing how we can support organizations on areas like climate change, education, as I mentioned. And so they're really, for us, sort of three components of the engagement. It's the government to government, it's the civil society, and it's very much this commercial and trade relationship. And so, in addition to this index as an opportunity, we have been over this last year seeing how that we can continue to promote these opportunities. For instance, we worked very closely with the EDB in supporting a trade delegation to go to NLIT, which is a major trade show that occurred in South Africa in May. And it was a program to try to bring companies looking at renewable energies to partner or to engage with U.S. companies that would also look at trying to work here in Mauritius. So that NLIT initiative I thought was very good because it started that dialogue between Mauritian-based companies and policymakers and United States companies. And coming off of that, we are now seeing that we will have, we're planning to have a sizable trade delegation coming here in December with companies in the renewable sector, financial services sector, biopharmaceutical. So this dialogue, this engagement, we're looking at all these different approaches that we can take to continue to foster. In addition, we had a U.S. Trade and Development Agency representative who came out here and did a program in which she connected with public and private stakeholders to promote opportunities for green technology and financing for green technology. And I hope I'm not putting him on the spot here today, but we do have a senior Foreign Agricultural Service representative who's head of our Foreign Agricultural Service in Pretoria, Ali Abdi. He's a senior Foreign Agricultural Service officer here, and he's been here for a couple of days now looking at opportunities to promote the agricultural component of our relationship, commercial agricultural opportunities. So these are just a couple of examples of where we have done a lot in the last several months to try to flesh out that relationship, the commercial and trade relationship. So I'm very excited to see this initiative come to fruition because I think it's in line with that overall effort of seeing how we can broaden the U.S.-Mauritian relationship. So again, I know you're probably very excited to actually see this thing that we've been all talking about for so long. And so in closing, I really would just like to thank again the Kantar team for the great work that they did in bringing together this data and providing a very clear, very succinct analysis. And again, Robin and the American Chamber of Commerce board for the willingness, the courage, and the leadership to make this happen. And what I'm hoping is that this report will then be a baseline. And as we go into the next year, we'll have a chance to see what areas were there improvement, what areas could we see more effort on. And this will be a living tool, a living document, and something that we can continue to build on. And so again, I'm very excited to be able to have this as a resource. Look forward to using it in the future, and really want to thank all the people who made this event possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, His Excellency. I shall request you to remain on stage, and I shall invite Mr. Ravin Lama, President of the AMCHAM Mauritius, to join us for the official inauguration of the Mauritius Business Index Book 2023. And of course, I would like to call the board members, Mr. Mohamed Murad Singh to come and join us, Monsieur Jacques Harel, Aisha Farzi, Chen Shisher, Shumika Lushman, Anil Loki, Jessica Naga, and Wilson Lee. Amr Samir Mohamed Ali, please come and join us for this photo souvenir.
Anil, Muzamir, Mahmoud Ali, Wilson, Mika, and Jessica. Can you give them a round of applause? They're truly a pleasure to work with. Now, this book would not have seen the light of day without sponsorship. So we got sponsors from our members itself. So big round of applause to Jacques. Jacques, can you stand up, please? Jacques, let everybody see you. Analysis, Kantar, Momo. Think Recruitment, Anil Loki. Coca-Cola, Aisha. I think the biggest round is to Tej and Team Zethical. Tej. They did the video and the book as well. So each one of you all will get a copy of this book, and we've also got the e-book version, so we'll circulate that around. Business should not always be serious. Sometimes it should be. Something very simple I want you to do with me. Stick your left thumb out and say ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. That's wonderful. Jerry, and a big round of applause to Jerry.
Thank you so much.